So if you're anything like this household, this year I had to explain to my daughter that Santa Claus was not real. Now, this was something we kind of had the feeling, my wife and I, leading up to and shutting down Christmas last year. We kind of had the feeling like maybe we got one more year in it. Well, turns out the kids in fourth grade, it's a completely different school. They're more, Santa's not cool. Rumors get spread. Things happen. People get it figured out. And there was this kind of weird vibe leading up to it where she acted like she knew. And I was like, oh, I just need to kind of illuminate it, bring it full circle, and kind of talk about it in a way that I feel comfortable about talking about it and just close the loop on this whole thing. Well, it turns out it was a much deeper topic, and it opened up a whole can of worms because there's kind of two things that I learned in this lesson that either your kids are younger than mine or you've already learned this as well, is that kids accept and have this idea like, yeah, Santa's no longer real. I'm not that kind of baby. I don't need to believe in Santa. I'm too tough, or I'm too big, or I'm too cool. But there is also the inner sadness where that means that Santa's not real. And something my daughter really struggled with was, Daddy, why did you lie to me? Like, why did you lie to me all these years? So that was something else we had to talk through. And there really wasn't a good way to do it other than you lie, because that's what everybody does. And just kind of sold it as is. But what I want to bring you today is a letter that I printed, and I'll put a link of it in the show notes, that essentially this letter allowed me to frame it in a way where Santa isn't real and the context is not a real person, but it allows you to create a narrative of how Santa really shows up in the world and what you really want your daughter to show up as Santa as well. And now she's on Team Santa, as the letter will suggest, and she's having fun moving around the elf. And if I'm honest, the elf, I am so glad that my wife and I do not have to figure out the elf every single day. It's kind of nice having someone else. And even her tonight, when I recorded this, she's like, ugh, I'm tired of moving it. I'm like, yeah, welcome to our world. So if you haven't bought an elf out there, PSA, it is a long freaking road of 25 days till Christmas and then repeating it every year. The kids love it, and it's one of those that like you keep doing, but man, it's a long road and you don't really realize what you're getting into. So without further ado, here is the letter, How to Explain Santa. You asked a very good question. Are you Santa? I know you've wanted this answer for a long time, and I've had to give it very careful thought to know what to say. The answer is no. I am not Santa. There is no one single Santa. I am the person who fills your stockings with presents, though. I also choose and wrap the presents under the tree, the same way my parents did for me and the same way her parents did for her, and will do for her kids someday as well. This could never make any of us Santa, though. Santa is lots of things, and lots of people who keep the spirit of Christmas alive. He lives in our hearts, not at the North Pole. Santa is the magic and love and spirit of giving to others. What he does is teach children to believe in something they can't see or touch. Throughout your life, you will need this capacity to believe in yourself, in your family, in your friends, and in God. You will need to be able to believe in the things you can't measure or hold in your hands. Now that you know the secret of Santa, of how he gets down all those chimneys on Christmas Eve, he has help from all the people whose hearts he's filled with joy. With full hearts, people like me take our turns helping Santa do a job that would otherwise be impossible. So no, I am not Santa. Santa is love, magic, hope, and happiness. I am on his team, and now you are too. I love you, and I always will, Mom and Dad. That letter initially went over like a lead balloon because it didn't really explain much. But I can say that there was a longer-term ROI because now this idea of Team Santa is something that she's really adopted. So I'm not going to sell this as a cookie cutter, solve all your problems. But I am going to sell this as it is an opening for a conversation that allows her to accept this idea that she doesn't have to act and be all like, "Bleh, Santa's gone now." She actually get to enter the spirit of Santa and help our younger kids still live in that miracle of believing in Santa. So with that said, I'll be back with you guys again tomorrow, and I hope that your Christmas season is already getting brighter and lots of traditions are already underway.